Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Saturday again. Episode 31 of the Epic of Lagillon. I'll give a very far forewarning announcement of sometime in October there will not be a session. So let that be as it is. As well as Sunday there is a gosh damn it, Melancholy Melody. Wednesday there's going to be a wool gathering, which should be what, the 11th wool? Is it? No, it's the 16th, right? 16th wool gathering.
Yep, should be the 16th.
And then a Thursday's a thaumaturgy Thursday mixed with whatever ends up happening with Lobotomy Corporation afterwards. That is the next week for our schedule. Again, mostly it seems that we continue to do that every time we're up, except on Thaumaturgy Thursday. It's Thursday. It's late enough in the week where it's like,
hey, listen,
you know what's going
fun.
on. And we also
it's just
don't really,
Thursday.
yeah, we also don't put up announcements everywhere for it. So those that show up, they know what's going on. Those that don't show up, you're not missing. You're not missing much. Let's be honest here.
I said, screw him.
Wow.
If
you're not here, you're not cool.
Hey.
you ain't here, you ain't square.
But we have something coming up exciting for all of us over here, Team Epic, in October. Hopefully, all of us stares at Wolf.
Stares at Wolf.
He intently stares at Wolf.
You're the only one that's dubious at this point.
Yeah. When everything comes in, we get confirmation. We'll give you guys an exact weekend in October, and we'll put some stuff in our public Discord and probably Twitter in relations towards that kind of stuff. Other than that, there's no real announcements that I can think of unless I'm missing anything.
Nope.
No? Okay. Need the D20s, guys, for that recap from last session.
Yeah. Starting off strong. Nothing above a 10 so far. Or above a 10, rather.
Fuck your logic. I'll break you.
I don't think that was part of your logic.
Well, his world of less than 10 was shattered when I entered.
Everything is my life is over. Everything is wrong. My life is over. It's all thanks to Fel.
If you've been trying to catch up on YouTube, there have been some hiccups. We're going to attempt to address those. However, please understand there might not be a way to. But henceforth, we are locking down on being able to secure the video in case things like that happen into the future. Currently, there is a lot of movement and commotion going on around some of our members' dwellings and the appropriation of living quarters. So we that is also currently the reason why we do not have Stolen or Star with us today. They will more than likely, yeah, they will more than likely be here later if presented the opportunity. I got a 3.
Perhaps.
It ain't me.
It's Arya.
Damn.
Right on. Right on there.
Talking about this last night, so you should know exactly what's going on.
Well, you were also very drunk last night.
But I barely remember our conversation last night, so.
Well, that's because
Well, if you always need help, you can phone a friend. And
It's
most of us
usually
here
me.
won't pick it up.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll start with the group made it to Whitewater. After leaving the town, they started to camp out a couple nights. They saw Master Hawk riding a camel towards Whitewater, which was interesting.
he was hauling ass.
He was hauling ass, just booking it on a
He has to
camel.
get ready for his cool guy pose, remember?
Yeah, he's got it. He's
Yep.
set up.
Gotta get ready for the cool guy pose. Make sure that he's there and ready to beat up on Shadow as soon as he walks in. Then the group got to Whitewater, where they met the Grey Mane. Fel and the Grey Mane had their duel.
Bane, Grey Bane.
Great Bane.
Great Bane is Warcraft, brother.
Listen to him,
Arch for this. He shouldn't have made a character with the name so close to fucking Kramer.
Just one letter
Don't
off.
play MMOs. How was I to know?
It's Skyrim and World of Warcraft. It's two different our characters.
Yeah, I don't do MMOs. How am I supposed to know these things? All right.
You play Skyrim or
Warcraft.
Anyway, they walked up to Lady Whitewater after their duel. That Fel won. And
technically.
saw that there's a Minotaur named Menethil and a Mind Flayer named Sebastian.
Yeah.
Which is pretty fucking cool, I'll admit. And then they started to talk for a bit. Lady Whitewater hugged Arya. Fucking weird.
Like a new weird, awkward moment.
Weird.
Fel Wolf feeling like a guy over at a girl's sleepover.
Yeah, it was an awkward moment to say the least. Then they were offered to have a place to stay inside the grounds, so the group decided to stay. They're also waiting on word from Autumn and Annette, because they did let them get out of Auditory. So yeah, hopefully that's going to go well. And they were told to wait 72 hours for Lady Whitewater to make her decision. I think I got everything.
Anyone else think she missed anything? No?
Currently with the absence stolen.
All right.
That's basically it.
Well, since the other half of that party is not here, I'm going to postpone that a little while. Give him a
God
chance
damn
to
it.
show up. So, sorry.
He did say he would attempt to, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what he said.
I will give him about 45. All right. Well, we'll give him that. So yeah, go the fuck over there.
Let me go to my corner.
The one you're pointing at on screen. Yeah, that one over there.
Yeah, that one right there. What do you mean you can't see it? It's right there.
All right. I do believe the group that was at the castle did begin to split to some degree, but had yet to. I believe Felwolf had the intention of leaving the castle alongside Elenan, if I am not mistaken. The castle group did end up leaving the study, heading towards the large entry hall. In there is Minithel, and Sebastian is, stayed back behind in the study as the doors closed. Greybane did exit with you, and his troop ended up heading out of the castle, or out of the interior, towards the outer castle grounds.
I'm gonna try and stop the Greybane.
The group or him?
Him.
He has yet to attempt to leave.
Oh,
He
okay.
does appear to be moving towards Minothalba.
I'll wait until Lif leaves then, and after he's done all his talking, I'll wait outside the study.
Him and Minithel begin to converse softly as they walk around a corner down a hall on the other side of this main entry.
Does it look like it has another exit potentially?
It's more towards like the center of the building. It's not like at the edge. It's a more of an opposing direction than just the excuse me.
Nice.
Shit.
That's a 7. That's a 7.
Thank you.
I give it 1 and 8.
It's on the opposing side from the study. It from the exterior of the building, it does have a somewhat blocked U shape. The study itself is lined against the wall, but this hall seems to be pressed in towards the middle or central area of the building. So it would probably take a good distance for him to either somehow round about or whatever. They could either be walking off to get distance from your group or walking to a different room in particular.
I'll go towards the front courtyard then.
Okay.
And just wait there.
All right. Felwolf, Velanan. Are you two immediately
Where are
absconding
we?
off?
Where are we in conjunction with the rest of the team at the moment? Specifically.
You are all in the main hall right next to the large double doors that you entered from. So you're right outside the study, which the door now behind you has closed. And you watched as Minithel and Greybane walked off into a different hallway. You were also informed, make yourselves at home. But it does seem that some of your party is either waiting on a couple of members or do have the desires to head out. You are still in that main grand entrance area.
Okay. Were we staying here tonight, or we were going to do other activities in the morning? Right, that was the plan, or were you doing something tonight? Don't all speak up at once.
I don't know. You guys didn't agree to do anything tonight. I think you were just kind of left to your own devices.
I do
You can do
believe
whatever.
Foulwolf and Elanan wanted to go meet their mother, which was a conversation you did end up having before we
Yeah.
ended.
That's what I remember. I was trying to figure out if we were doing that tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah, come on, Elanan. The voice. Let's hear it.
We could do that tonight.
Okay. So then what I would do is, with me and Ellen then being somewhat separated, he'd be whispering to Ellen to hand him a specific item he's been holding for him, so he can go ahead and have it on his person, since he doesn't have to feel too ashamed anymore.
I will pull it out and hand it to you.
He stows this on his person in the open.
Okay. I guess if anybody is paying attention to this exchange, lack of a better thing going on there,
Fucking drug deal on the side of the room.
this exchange, you do watch Elanan pass over this roughly 2 to 3 foot long leather sheath. It has the top of it is wrapped closed hands it off over to Felwolf that proceeds to wrap it in with the rest of their things. Is that the item in which I
Yeah.
okay.
He would just store it in his on like the side of his bag or whatever, strap it in however you would like it to be.
Okay. Like on the side.
Yeah. Aside from that, he would then go over to Arya, because Arya is probably the one that feels the most paranoid right now. And he would take Arya and say, "Hey, are you wanting to go with me and Elenan, or you want to stay here?"
There's something I'd like to talk to the Greybane about first.
We don't have to rush.
Well, if you don't mind waiting, then I'd appreciate that.
I'd wait. I don't know if there's anything Elenan wants to do. Pass it over to Elenan then.
You can wait a little while.
I like to think that Neoma's walking around this tiled entry, just click, click, click,
Yeah.
click, 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 click.
Honestly, adventuring, just walking around, looking at everything.
The occasional
assuming-
stomping on tile just to hear echo through the long
Yeah.
halls.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he'll ask who else is wanting to go upon your readiness.
Believe that would. No, Shadow is currently not there. Shadow is scattered off
Shadow's not
to
here.
another place.
To do shadowy things.
Yeah.
So it's
So
just
Neoma,
Just
Aloria.
Nope, I am with Stolen at the temple.
Okay, so it's
It's just Neoma.
It's just you four. Yeah.
I guess you're the only one he'd be addressing then.
Well, I wasn't gonna really go anywhere till tomorrow, but I mean, yeah, sure. It's me out. I want to see more of the town.
For those of you that did forget, you were informed that you could take a boat from just behind the castle across towards the docks, which was where she informed you that your mother now resides on a private vessel.
Did she say which dock specifically?
She
or no?
did not. She just said
Okay.
over there.
You did not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like let's just say, hey, do you know where this specific person lives within your kingdom? Sure. Over there, just points to the map.
It's honestly shouldn't be too entirely hard because
It won't be.
Do you remember the name of your mother's vessel?
that's what I was about to say.
Because she has her vessel, so
It was a military grade one, so they
Big
just
vessel.
they just gave her a
Big
military
ship.
vessel as her retirement.
They live in Molivard Lane.
here we'll just give you a warship as a retirement gift.
Yeah,
She is an elf, and she served for quite a while. So
Still though,
yeah.
okay. Well, as soon as Arya's ready, I guess. Arya, I guess, torch is passed to you now.
All right. I do believe Arya would end up sitting outside waiting, as you said, into the courtyard, waiting for Greybane to exit. Correct.
yes.
As your troop exits the main hall out to the courtyard, you met again with that preserved battlefield. The large spikes of ice spread across the ground, scorch marks, areas where you could see now slowly faded, washed away bloodstains, scorch marks, and all these other bits You see the gouges through the stonework. Roughly 15 to 20 minutes pass, and then the door once more opens as Greybane exits. I figured you'd all be sleeping by now. I'm gonna head to the inn. Is this something you need, or is it just a bit too much to be in a castle?
I was actually hoping that I could talk to you before you go.
All right. I'm sure you have a lot to say.
Well, not a lot to say. I was hoping... I know the Greybanes participated in the war. Were you there too?
Of course I was.
Can you tell me about the war? I don't remember much about it. I was still a child, so... Admittedly, am missing some information that I would like to get. And I'm realizing that my memories are not as reliable as I thought they were.
Wars are very chaotic. It'd be easier to give you more specific information than just state what it was. Barbaric, unnecessary, extreme. Yeah. I mean, it lasted for 2 years. So, what specifically, what questions or answers are you looking for? Did we ever figure out why? Or did we...
Did you ever figure out No, I suppose you wouldn't know.
We still don't know why. Speculation is about all that we have. Even when we raided the castle, I found nothing. Nothing written down, or at least that wasn't burned away or taken.
Why? Why did... Why did Whitewater attack the castle?
Because it's believed Turn Terrors did the same. He just gestures to the courtyard. Why wouldn't they pay it in kind?
Do you know people who took my family's lives?
He'll look up slightly confused and then towards Fell. I do. I was one of them.
She'll take a deep breath. Do you regret it? Even the slightest bit?
The answer to that question isn't easy on either one of us. No, I do not. Am I haunted by the actions I've taken? Yes. It was only when I cut her down is when I realized she wasn't a vampire. But regardless, it was war.
That wasn't war. Not at that point.
It turned dramatically. But your father never surrendered. Even in the halls, they kept fighting.
She's starting to get visibly angry at this point.
I think that was
Murdering babies in their cribs is not a war. I have one last question. If you had met me in some random village where I was working as, let's say, a bartender, what would you have done?
probably nothing. From having battled your troop, traveled here, and
No.
fought with the...
If they were not here,
No.
if they
Hold on.
never existed, you never talked to them. If you had met me in some random village, on your own, or with your group, and you knew that I was a Turn-Terror, what would you have done?
If I knew, by what means would I have gained that knowledge?
If you had noticed my fangs.
At that point, I would have only known you were a vampire. Many unfortunate things came about after that war. Spawns swept into Nightingale and into Palomar. Hungry monsters. Could not think for themselves, for their masters slain or left without giving instruction. I'd like to think if I ever met one that wasn't eating, living a life, maybe it would be fine. What would you want if you lost control and consumed everyone near you? Would you want someone to take mercy on you? I suspect by your silence, you've pondered that question many times.
Every day of my life. And yet still, I stand here, knowing that I might do that exact same thing.
And what wrong have you committed by not? Being a creature deemed unfit makes one destined for death. Then why am I still here? Many people outside knew of what afflicted me. Many would not think kindly of me. Nightingale and Whitewater are the same in the ideas of leaving those practices behind. Sebastian and Minethil are prime examples. A mind flare, serving as a somewhat statesman or chief of staff or queen. Lives in a noble house. You tell me what kind of people would live in a kingdom that allowed something like that.
My family would have.
Your family was the one that invaded this place.
Part of my family did. I am not saying that they are without sin.
Your family has lived long. You may be referred to as an offspring of the second family. But the first has been around for centuries. You were born of the Crimson King. Not by some random vampire. Related. But your father was the man that orchestrated this war.
And so I should watch as my baby sister was shot with an arrow, trying to survive?
No one hunted the children. They were never in the castle.
We were hunted down, slaughtered.
No.
We were chased through the woods.
We found only the first family and your mother there. Children were never there. We found twisted body parts of corpses in the basement of infancies gone wrong. Whoever made you have those memories wanted you to forget something horrible. Make you think you should have never returned. That place was that place would make a torturer squeamish. Those upper halls coated in burgundy. Dark trim. I suspect were mostly that color because the stains would not show. I suspect he was trying to make something.
Arya's gonna stand up. Val, I think you should, go on your own. I have a lot to think about. And she's gonna start walking in a random direction.
Okay. Yes, you didn't tell her to avoid this. I see how it would have made it difficult to travel and accomplish what you did if the mind wandered.
I've spoken with her before about what transpired with my family side of this debacle. I could never attest, as I was never there.
I recall seeing an Eastern warrior there, but he entered the grounds afterwards. That wars should never be taken into homes, no matter how large they grow.
War can become blurry. However, it is no excuse. If you are able to set the parameters beforehand, you know you will never cross the line. Just because you have the ability to eliminate a threat entirely doesn't mean it's the right decision.
At that time, it wasn't mine.
Yes, and I'm not blaming you. Do not misunderstand. With experience comes better vision. Only after can you think of the ways you could have done better.
I just wonder what he would have done as he stares at the back of the statue.
From what I've heard, potentially finding another way. Cannot speak to it because it is enticing ideas of what if that will never be.
True.
We will get out of your way.
I will head in then as well. Don't cause much of a ruckus in Whitewater. I'm sure two capitals don't need to burn. And he'll just kind of smile. This old dog has to go sleep. Good night.
Good night.
She'll walk off towards the main gate.
Elanan.
Yep.
I think it best if you take Neoma and go. I don't believe Arya should be alone. Not in this city.
Agree. I will. Guess we'll see each other tomorrow then.
Yes, I will see you tomorrow. The Felwolf will walk off and go after Arya.
All right. Um. You'll find Arya on the western side of the castle. There's a undisturbed bench, though nearby there's a few trimmed rose bushes and a tree. The tree itself seems slightly twisted and jagged, though branches of it are sprouting, seems to be flowers, though a lot of the tree seems to be dying off as the cold weather or cold air occasionally swoops by in the evening. The direction from the moon seems to hold that area in a somewhat light glow as you begin to approach her sitting on the bench.
She'll look up briefly at Fel and then go back to looking at the scene.
He'll just walk up, doesn't say anything.
Right. We'll have you two sit there. Neoma, Elanan. You two are heading off to Mom's house or Mom's boat.
Yes. We shall take a ship. It'll be faster.
All right.
We
You'll
have a
return.
rowboat, yes.
You will return inside. Minethel will guide you down, guide you towards the back area of the castle that has a long set of stone staircases that heads down the back cliff towards what seems to be a private dock. The ship there will be sailed across the river. It'll take a few minutes. Eventually you'll get across. You'll see a large series of ships of varying sizes, shapes, for many different purposes.
I'm going to keep my eye out for my mother's ship.
All right. Go ahead and give me an investigation or perception check as you're looking about.
Yeah.
It seems as you are beginning to walk up and down the docks, the key thing that would drive you would be the ship's appearance. Though over the past while of all of the strenuous events and getting here and not sleeping has worn you out to the point as of right now, for the life of you, you don't recognize any ship that seems familiar.
Did he not want it?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's still a 10.
It's still
Jesus.
a fail.
Still
Still
yeah.
fail.
Oh man.
I think we passed it.
What is the name of the ship?
DM?
At this point, roll me a history.
Watch this drive.
You can't remember that right now either.
Oh my god, did he?
You got a 5 in total.
Oh my god!
Standing there on the dock going, I can't for the life of me remember.
I'm so glad I did not go.
Yep.
Well, I would help, but I don't know anything about your the past. So I think
Now,
Niam was
do
just
you-
honestly at this point, after giving up, just starting to look around, just wondering.
Okay, do you remember your mother's name?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't need to roll for that, do I?
What's your mother's name, Ellen Ann?
I don't remember!
You honestly don't remember?
I have it wrote down, dude. Why do you not have it wrote down?
I know it.
Written down. What are you doing, Wolf?
He knows it.
Oh god.
I was just checking.
Okay, I was about to say, dear God in heaven, help this man.
No.
1 and 2. It's Volthana Swiftmane.
Now, who's your brother?
So,
And what was the name? Because everybody's very loud and I want to write it down.
Volthana Swiftmane. But did I get that right?
Valthana?
Yeah, Valthana. The Swiftmane.
Whenever you spell it right the first time.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna look back down along the docks. Is there a section that's just military ships?
There does seem to be a section of a large group of them, towards the southern parts.
Down here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming we would have landed like down here and then moved our way up.
Yeah.
Yes, we definitely passed it.
When you're in a grocery store and you're looking for that one item, but you've gone down that aisle 3 or 4 times by the time you ask for help.
That is the
Every time.
exact mood of this.
The
Yeah.
whole time, whenever you go down the aisle and you're only looking to the right and the item you need is to the left.
Yep.
Happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention to the ships. I was looking at buildings.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
This is why I don't go shopping.
I was watching out for birds.
There's a lot of birds.
It's night.
And
There's
there
no
would be-
birds right now.
It
Still
would be
on the
like, fuck
lookout.
them birds.
Yeah.
Tasty bird.
All right. So you're
completely forgot I had it
spending
on.
more time.
Yes, I'm gonna turn around and go back down.
All right, give me another roll. It's gonna be an hour.
Jesus Christ.
We are having a good time.
Here we are.
Oh,
Ooh, that was about
that's
a
almost
fucking
another
one.
nine.
That's almost another one. Man, 22. As you were going down, you'll see another ship. Though it must have been from the angle as you begin to
Must
recognize
have been.
one. Yeah. As you will see the wallflower.
Perspective is everything.
And as tradition, as it's spelt out along the back as it's pulled in, the A and the O have two cannons that make up the circles in the letter pointed out the back end of the boat.
That's awesome.
Yep. Okay. I'm going to walk up to the flank. You can see if there's anybody around.
There are, however, you'll see these plain blues, the shirts and a white sash along with the kind of tannish pants. There, two guards or sailors are sitting flanking the plank on either side at the top, sitting in chairs. Both of them are rested, and one of them has a spear oddly pointed towards the plank.
Do I recognize either of them?
You don't recognize by name, but you have seen them on your mother's vessel before.
Okay. I will approach. Be like, hey. I'm Elenan. Here to see my mother, Balthana.
As you say that, they jerk slightly as you notice they were the ones that have mastered falling asleep with their eyes open. Then you begin to remember these two, as your mother refers to them as the all-night guardsmen, because they just sit there with their eyes open, sleeping.
That didn't work.
As they jerk around, you'll hear some boots further on the deck begin to move as they stand up. Who are you?
I am Elenan. I am here to see my mother, Balthana.
Oh, you think he's the boy, Elenan? Oh, yeah. Why would he be? I think he's supposed to be like in the desert somewhere. Can we drop him off over there? Oh, you were rationing your rations again, weren't you? Maybe. Fuck off. As you'll begin to hear recognizable steps as you hear a boot and a tick as the right hand man to your mother on the vessel ended up losing a leg, and instead of replacing it with like a peg or walking with a crutch, what he ended up doing was replacing it with this long barrel. As you'll see slowly coming over the precipice from your vision, the railing of the deck, you'll see Benjamin. Another half orc. However, unlike your brother who's athletic, who's focused on being a warrior, this individual is one of those men that pride themselves on being strong, where it doesn't look odd that his right leg is in the shape of a cannon, because his left leg is also in the shape of a cannon. As he peers over the railing, just goes, "Hey, is that you, Elenan?"
It is I.
I'll let him on, you stupid ditz. All right, sir. You know,
All right.
haven't seen you in a while. How you been?
Righto.
Righto.
Off we'll go then.
Yes, my lord.
All right.
Job's done.
As you pass by, that's essentially the attitude. Is they just like slouch back in the
Pass
chair,
out.
and, go try to go back to sleep, with their eyes open.
Is Neoma following me? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And this man, to you, this man looks like a bear.
Yeah.
The only thing that separates
name.
the only thing that separates this man from a full orc was probably his mom, who instilled the fact that he needs to be kind to people, at least in behavior. Ellen, and you would know that Benjamin's toughness is mostly a visible facade. He's always liked playing like card games and chess and things like that. His father was a quote unquote pirate. He worked in the Navy as well, but was labeled the Navy's pirate because he would always take shit from other ships. And sometimes not even when he wanted to. He would walk aboard and they would just hand him things. His father was a full orc.
Hey, them ads coming in clutch.
Yep. What you doing back here?
Oh, a lot.
You got yourself a girlfriend, I see.
No, this is Neoma. We've met her in Auditore.
Auditor?
Yes.
Getting colorful ones over there, it seems. Trust me, you can do better than him. He doesn't talk much. I'm sure Chipmunk would be better.
Really no.
Undoubtedly. There's
There's one.
try to put this. An old war has resurfaced.
A war?
Yes. I'll need to talk to my mother.
Are you wanting to wake her or do you want me to?
I guess I can wait then.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Her boat, her sleep. If you want, you can sleep on the deck. I ain't letting you anywhere near downstairs. Don't need the rest of the crew being mugged of their coin in front of their eyes. Yeah. Your mother just paid salary too, so you get to stay up here.
I guess retirement's treating you all well then.
We said anything about us being retired.
Well,
We transport merchant ships up and down the coast now, and she tries to swing around her admiral status still down in Oasis to prevent some people from getting gypped. I think it'll last for another month or two until they catch on down there. So, you bring a girl and want to see your mom, and you say that she's not your girl. Why the hell did you bring a girl then?
with all
Did he
that's been
kidnap
going
you?
on.
No, I wanted to go.
Oh.
I haven't seen Whitewater before.
Yeah, it looks great from down here, all the cliffs and walls. As he kind of gestures towards all the cliffs and walls. Wonderful city.
It's a lot different in the forest. So yes, ignore the dog.
That sounded like a distance, like scoff or laugh, like Fell does.
That was Fel.
That was my dog.
I was like, wait, he laughed that hard? You heard it all the way over there? Okay.
Wouldn't put it past him.
I am.
Yeah. It's happened before.
I have no idea what you're referring to.
You gotta run back now. Oh, hold up.
I'm not used to the headset today, so I had to run back.
God damn it.
All right. Well, you wanted to meet you in Glacial Park in the morning or something. I'm sure she doesn't want to fall asleep out here and not see the city, so I mean,
Yeah.
I'll have her meet you there. How does I'll have a east side by the tail. That work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds perfect.
I'll have her meet you there then. What? 5th stroke of the bell. Roughly 5 afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm pretty sure she'll end up canceling our ship out tomorrow. So got some people that she's probably gonna end up yelling at for no reason. So
Normal day then.
yeah, just canceling a few contracts because her son's in town. I'm sure she wants to see her.
All right. That we can head back to the castle.
Oh, I mean the castle.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, I was just saying we can head back to the castle.
Oh, are you saying
got
that
it.
out loud, or are you just telling me?
Just telling you.
Oh, okay. Got
Yeah.
it. You gotta make those clear.
Sorry.
That's fine. Yeah.
This way you give Ellen an accent.
Yeah, I just imagine Niama just waving by. Just
All right. You guys will head back across the river towards the castle. In a few minutes. They'll have Stolen here, so that won't matter. I guess we'll drop in over at the church.
He's here. He's just setting up.
Oh, okay. Then
Oh,
we won't
wow,
do that.
perfect
We'll give him
timing.
some time. We'll drop in on
Bishop.
Shadow, actually. How about that?
Oh,
First of all,
right.
does it want me to have my screen time? I will not be silenced.
You'll
Shut
be
up.
silenced for now.
If you don't get any scream time to get today, there's Wednesday, so shut up.
Damn it. God damn it.
We'll get to Shadow. Shadow, as you were the one that parted from the group at the bridge. As
Rich?
you saw, he did see a sign that ended up pointing southward for resort, which was the one word in which,
I was told.
yeah. So the first signage he did state I do believe that he would end up going that way instead of going straight into town.
I had matters to attend to first and foremost.
Yeah. Because he had the goat and wanted to get rid of the goat.
And these barrels that have caused trouble.
Yeah. As you head southward, you watch as the small town around you begins to disappear as this singular road, still well paved, heads towards what seems to be a large manor with a fenced-in area around, just behind it. This will probably be around that time that the fight's taking place. So, this is still earlier into the night than the others currently are.
Oh, time to burn. Cool.
Yeah. Eventually you get towards the front of this large manor-like building, and you will see Horseshoe Spa and Resort.
Well, that's 2 words on my list, so that definitely must be the place. If not, there might be a similar one nearby.
You will see a significant number of carriages kind of wrap around this curved drive as it closes in towards this large front entry or entrance as it steps up into a somewhat tiled courtyard into a large door with the same words scrawled across the top of it.
Now, from what little I know about dwarves, this seems a bit gaudy, right?
Yes and no. Dwarves from Oasis, where you are, they build their homes to be very sturdy. They also do prefer their homes to look unique to some fashion, along with being with this false sense of wealth. As you look around, a lot of the stonework here is very well done, where it does give that sense of wealth, but there are other things that seem to be added on top. Windows that are framed in what seems to be brightly painted yellows, a courtyard that has many benches made of wood, irons, and fountains. It does seem to be this mix, as if the first intended purpose of this place was built by dwarves, but it seems to be added on to after a while.
So as fancy as this is something that would be on levels of what, the palace?
In essence, yes, though in much smaller scale.
It's a lot of wealth. All right, and I get the sense of what, welcoming?
Most of the lights on the upper floors are off, though the lights on the lower floor are on. You can see light coming, exiting the windows, though through muted curtains and whatnot. So there are people there, it seems, though there isn't activity outside on the front. You do hear the occasional chatter or large group kind of activity in the back in that fenced area, where it echoes somewhat around the building.
Okay. Do I see anybody outside? Anybody that looks like they would be staff or servants?
No. You do see horses that are hooked up to these large carriages, but they seem to have feeders wrapped onto their heads. Some of them seem to be fresh, others older.
Okay. I'm going to need to go inside then, so I will tie off the mule off to the side and
The ram.
ram, apologies, and head in.
Right. As you enter in, normally you're used, at least to some degree, in larger, fancy buildings, somewhat stonework across the floor. And here there's this long row, almost of sheets of what seem to be thinly cut, well-placed wood that's soft to each step. As you enter in, you can see a desk or some sort of greeting area, staircases that end up heading up to these large catwalks and walkways on the second floor. That the area in which you are in is essentially this open space. As you look up, the roof is made of glass, and you can see the stars coming down through the ceiling. There's this heavy mix of incense of seems to be a cinnamon with hints that seem to have been mixed in of like fruited flavors or even flowers, though that doesn't seem to be the one that's being burned in this room. So it's very much like those old shops that had rows of incense. As soon as you kind of walk in, it's strong. If you're in there for too long, it becomes a
Just
headache.
instantly accosts you as soon as you walk into the vicinity.
Yeah.
Oh man, I grew up near some of those stores. You just walk near it and you were just accosted by the smell.
Yeah. So that's essentially what happens to you as you enter, though there is a heavy, warm humidity that does seem to linger in here as well. You'll see an individual that's sitting at the desk with what seems to be the sleeveless shirt, a nice neck collar, and a vest that has filigree of what seems to be some sort of ocean aspect, or near where the breast pocket or the left hand side of the chest is. You'll see this horseshoe with a barrel in it.
Okay.
May I help you?
Ah, yes. Hello. I am here to make a delivery to the proprietor of this establishment.
What is the delivery?
It is from his brother.
Please wait there. As he'll get up and walk towards a door in the back. As they'll enter through, you'll see a well-lit area and hear this noise of what sounds like the best way that you would be able to describe it is the sound of a wagon's wheel turning. After a few moments, the door will swing open very quickly as you'll see this dwarven figure there. The entire top of their head is bald, though heavily tattooed. You'll see this beard pulled down into 3 long braided strings with what seems to be a mixture of flowers and cinnamon twist rolls, those dry cinnamon sticks. As he runs over to the desk and slams his hands on it and just looks at you, goes, "What you riding on?"
A goat about as tall as I.
Right answer. All right. How much did he say I owed you?
You didn't write that down, did you?
He actually didn't. That's funny. Shit.
He said, "Tell him this is what I told you." I do recall. Make me a history check.
Shit.
That would be a good time for a
I don't remember he gave me an amount. He said something about I was supposed to make a delivery and us call it even or some shit like that. That was what I recalled out of the conversation.
That's what you recall?
But let's see. History. See if that's what I actually recall.
Nope.
Yeah.
I guess that's what you recall, that it was free. You did it for free. Huh.
You could also just swindle him.
No, I'm not about to swindle him.
Come on,
You're like,
rogue.
20 gold.
So, what am I supposed to pay you?
Well, I don't remember your brother giving me an amount, but
So
I do
strange.
believe the total I was supposed to give you was 2 barrels. However, I've brought 3.
You see his brows tighten as his head slightly turns. 3, you say?
Indeed.
Someone got lucky on the checkpoint.
Well, the first lot of guards were friendly enough to take one off of my hands. The second guards didn't seem to mind and or care. They must have been busy with something else.
I've never heard of that one happening, but maybe you're just lucky. For the third one, how about I give you thanks? How about that?
Thanks,
You can't give me a number. I'll... What can I give you that won't break with me? How many friends you got? Or is it just you?
It's about 8 of us currently? Is that correct?
If you're talking about just the party, there's 7.
Including
8, including the friend.
9.
9.
Wait, hang on. is
I
that-
can stick that many in 2 rooms? 3 rooms, maybe? How about this? I'll give you 1 night free for you and your friends here at the resort for the extra barrel.
I could probably do that. I'd appreciate it.
Well, that offer ends in a week. Main
Up to a
reason
week?
after that, I end up closing down, remodeling and everything, because winter closes the beach around here, so...
Ooh. Understood.
This motherfucker said in a beach episode. What the fuck?
The plot thickens. That was your beach episode.
Yeah, he wasn't kidding.
Oh.
Okay, Dante saying quid makes you know immediately where he's from. Like, there's only one place in the world that says quid.
squid in the ocean.
God damn it. There's not just one place. There's not just one place, actually. Multiple places in Europe say quid, actually. So it could be, you could be British, you could be, what's the fucking Welsh? I think the Wales says it too.
Are you trying to say Welsh?
Welsh, yeah, Welsh.
The whale thing.
I said that he could be Welsh. They say that in Wales too.
Are you separate? Hold on. Hold on.
Just keep digging that hole.
Hold on. Where is Wales?
Digging so fast.
No, hold on. Wait, hold on. I want this answer. No Google. Where's Wales?
No good.
Where's Wales?
Where's Wales?
Hold on.
No.
No
This-
Google.
No Google.
I'm not Googling. I'm legitimately thinking right
Okay.
now.
Okay. Where's Wales?
In the ocean.
That's a stolen response.
Hold on. This is education coming in clutch right
Yeah, coming in clutch. Let's go. Come on.
Wait, well,
10,
you're making me doubt if Wales is
9,
actually a fucking country. No.
8, 7, 6,
Oh my god.
5,
You think this hard about it.
4. What?
No!
Norway?
I don't know this bullshit.
Norway. Yeah.
All right. Hold on.
And no, Wales
I
is
need.
something
Hold on.
that's-
Stop it. Stop it. Anybody that knows where it is, I want you to roll me d20 to see who gets to put Spaz in his place.
Oh, fucking A.
Highest number wins.
Ooh.
Yes!
Oh, I'm not even gonna fucking.
I don't.
Jesus Christ.
All
Fucking
really
10% chance to win.
Hell yeah! It looks like you're gonna put him in his place.
Wait. Don wants to roll too.
Okay. Somebody roll for
I'll
Don.
roll for Dawn.
Sworn that Wales was a separate entity from anywhere else.
No.
They're
No.
There
man.
you go.
12. All right. No, it's Celia.
Okay, learn me something here.
So Spaz,
Yeah.
did you know that the UK means something?
I know what the UK means.
UK means United Kingdoms.
Yes, I know it means yes.
Wales is part of the United Kingdoms.
It's one of the.
So the British, in your statement there, use quid. Wales probably uses quid because it's part of the same place.
I believe that the people over in Wales also use quid, I say.
No, well, here's the thing. I remember correctly. Wales said, I thought Wales was a separate entity. I wasn't wrong in my statement. You just
No, they had
Say what, man?
they had their chance to be a separate entity from England. They just ended up not doing anything with that. That's
Okay,
what
so
the biggest meme's been about the UK for a long time.
fucking hard. You made me doubt myself so fucking hard that I made myself even more wrong. It was not incorrect. You just fucked me in the head. You literally just brain fucked me into saying something completely stupid.
Don
don't use
just said
quid.
Wales don't use quid.
I didn't say the words. I said I say it too. That's what they say in Wales.
Oh, that's good. This is getting even better.
It was not an incorrect statement.
Too quick.
You just
All right, we can move on.
Oh man,
Sorry.
this hurts too much.
Oh,
Sorry,
my
we can.
stomach hurts now.
Oh, my cheeks are on fire.
Oh,
no. This is bullshit. I didn't. You're wrong.
Fads, thank you for making our day better.
Oh man, there went that triggered meter.
I'm still confused. Hold on. Wait. No. It's time out.
spazzing.
Stop the session. Stop the session. So I said that I think I thought that the Welsh said it too. I think that's what they say in Wales. Wait, is that a correct statement or not?
From what Don over there is saying, they use the American dollar. But that's not very fair because technically
ocean whales use the American dollar.
because,
I'm not saying they use quid. I'm saying they say it. They physically say the word quid.
no,
That's what I was saying.
To say they say to quit, you're thinking of Alice, who says that, and she's from God, what's that knockoff place of?
I'm actually getting.
I think she's near Newcastle. I think she's near Newcastle.
I actually want to get this shit right. I'm actually turning this into a fucking geography lesson right now for myself.
If you are wondering, Wales is part of the UK, which uses pounds.
So therefore, they would say quid.
Yes.
No, but the area of Wales uses the primary currency of the U.S. dollar.
No, they use pound sterling, same as every other part of the UK. They do not use American dollars.
The west of Great Britain.
Yeah, because I was viewing Wales as a separate entity from Britain. As I said, Britain and Wales. I didn't know that Wales was a part of the UK. I thought the UK was exclusively just what was on the island of Great Britain, which is dumb, I know, but still.
Wales is part of the island of Great Britain.
Okay.
You want to know
I was
what
not
else?
aware.
Now use
Alright, hold on.
Google and
While
look it
we're
up.
here about the island of Great Britain, what other air quotes country is on the island of Great Britain?
Okay.
Oh no.
So can I get into this a little bit?
Sure.
Okay. So depending on the time period you're talking about, it goes into Wales, Northumbria, Wessex, Mercia. What's the other one that I'm thinking of? And then Scotland has pretty much always been Scotland since like basically the Celts. Then there's East Anglia, and I can't remember the other one. There's one more that I'm thinking of.
All right. Well,
This is pointless.
Scotland and Ireland are also over there in the UK. So there you go.
Ireland's got its own island, though.
Ireland is still technically its own island, but it's
so-
part
Can't
of
wait,
it.
can't wait, continue.
So
Let's go
Ilaria,
and move
you
on.
are
We
at
won't get
the
into.
you're over there at the church. We're gonna finish up Shadow before we get to you. Welcome, Stoller.
Hello.
Shadow, the dwarf gives you that as an offer of payment. Or thanks, I guess. You said 9 people, and he said, he's willing to let you guys stay for a night, as long as it's within the next 7, within the next 7 days.
Actually, one thing did strike me. Currently, I am in need of a mount, and that goat out there was a stalwart companion, one of the most sturdy mounts I've ever seen. Would you happen to have one that you would be willing to part with, or know if your brother would?
Technically, all of the goats are his, so I would say no.
All right.
I don't own, at least as part of the business, any livestock. That would be a bit odd for a spa. I mean, what am I going to have them do? Step on people?
It was just a passing thought.
I can't quite think of anything. All I can really offer you is a free night in my business. If that doesn't work, then I guess I can offer you a small bit of coin. But it's not going to be a lot, as I stated, the resort's going to go through another yearly remodel here soon. It's going to take up the winter time. So
Oh, I don't want to hear about that. Let's see. I could probably take the coin, honestly. I am currently in need of funds, as I need to acquire a few more things for my journey.
all right, I can give you what's in my pocket. As he'll put 52 gold coins down.
Not to be ungrateful, but I was hoping for a bit more. Would 100 be fair?
Make me a persuasion check. So I can go get another 48 from the back. As he'll wait right here. So he'll head back into that room once more. As a few moments pass, he'll walk back out with a bag, and he'll put it down. Another 48. Makes it for even 100.
Well, we thank you for your patronage, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this fine ale. May you and your establishment have another fine year. As he takes the coin, nods respectfully, and takes his leave.
Okay.
I got
Okay.
swindled, I'm sure.
You can now all blame Shadow for getting rid of the beach episode.
Yep. Not my problem.
What?
Something about putting, the freaking cat in a Speedo was mentioned, so I was like, oh, yeah, no.
All right.
Damn it.
He wants
No,
one of
no
those
for
girls'
John Wick in a
cool
Speedo.
swimsuits. That's what he was
Well,
wanting.
the unitards or whatever they're
Yeah,
called.
he wanted the unitard swimsuit. That's what he
Like a
wanted.
one piece?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
It's funny. Y'all think he's, doing anything with clothes.
Oh no.
He's a
All
beast kid. What do you want?
right.
Not fucking
You
that.
exit the resort.
Yep.
And now have to walk back.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
I should have talked to his brother about keeping the damn goat. That could have been my payment. I'm sure I'll meet him again. Shit, I don't even know where to go. Did they say they were going a certain area?
They told you that they were going to go to the castle as their final destination.
Castle. Citadel of the White King, 15?
Nope. Or is it?
God.
Nice.
I mean,
Shut
you've never been in Whitewater before.
Nope, no, I haven't.
And you're by yourself?
Yep.
Oh well.
Rip.
All right. You'll walk your way back into town to the bridge.
If I pass a guard, I'll ask him for directions.
You will. Where are you looking to go?
I do believe I was to meet up with my companions at the castle grounds. Could you point me in that direction?
Unless they're expecting you, I'd probably say don't head that way. But the castle's that direction. And he'll point here.
All right. I'll nod and say thank you. And I'll head off.
All right. Now we'll go to the church. As you depart from your
Alright.
main group and head up the steps entering into the temple. The doors are not locked.
Okay, I will push and or pull them open and enter.
Okay. As you enter into the temple,
And still and be where you are with me.
Yep.
as you enter into the temple of Volfine, you will see the first thing that immediately grabs your attention is this deep blue marble that forms this tiled stone path straight down the center of this long chamber. It looks as if a ocean had been frozen in time as it swirls with these soft mixtures of this foam white as it moves all the way back, making this almost water-like trail towards the furthest area in this temple. As you follow it, your eyes eventually meet the large base of the tower that pierced through that does pierce through the temple itself, of this crystalline blue rock or gem that seems to spiral up in this mosaic pattern as it shoots through the ceiling and connects into the inner side of it. You're able to see this large mural painted across the top of the ceiling of what seems to be knights dressed in what seems to be white halberds, blues, aboard long rafts heading towards what seems to be this distant sandy shore. On it is what seems to be a very small depiction of a woman of sorts holding a jug. The goal of what this large armada of vessels and people seems is to be reaching this distant shore. As you follow along this mural as it circles around this oblong ceiling, eventually standing in a different section, but on the beach, is another figure dressed in long white robes, a helm tucked under the arm, and a sword and shield resting in their hands, is another figure. The only truthfully visible detail is the soft smile across their face. The floor, the ground of this long chamber has a series of pews rowed all the way towards the back of this large room, where a small step up for a pulpit to be. I think that's the correct word. Is it pulpit? It's pulpit. Where a stand where you can see this book lays sitting on top. Candles and incense burn all across and along the base of this sapphire-like spire rests fruits, vegetables, coins, offerings. Rested into the spire itself is this blue carving of a humanoid woman holding a large vase with one hand outstretched and the other having what seems to be water slowly trickling down from the lip of the vase. The room is occupied by 7 different individuals, most of them dressed differently, where standing near the pulpit is one individual in blue robes with this almost silver gray sash around the waist and up over the shoulder.
What about the others?
The others seem to be variations of what seem to be common clothing. Tan tunics, greens, or even a couple other that are these kind of tattered and sun-bleached whites.
Does it seem to be? Is it quiet? Like, are they just in prayer, or is the
It's quiet.
the priest? Okay.
The priest is not talking. They themselves are standing towards that pupit, staring up towards the statue itself. There is an incense burning into the air, though the exact fragrance is hard to make out. It's as if it does smell akin to salted ocean air, but there's something different about it.
Turn to Stolen. Would you mind waiting by the door for me?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. I hope this doesn't take long.
No
I'm
problem.
going to turn back around and approach the priest. Does he turn around to look at me as I walk up?
Are you making yourself somewhat audible as you approach, or no?
Yeah, I'm walking with audible footsteps. I'm not like sneaking.
Okay. As you begin to get close, they will turn around, as you'll see the soft shaped face of a man, yet the eyes and some of the features seemed aged. The individual, the only hair upon their face seems to be the brows and their eyelashes. The rest of it's cleanly shaven. Their eye color is this almost diluted blue, close to that of a gray, but you can still see color into it. How may I help you?
I am in search of a friend. Zach is his name. He's a human, a priest here, I think.
I know no priest by the name of Zach.
Are there other temples or shrines in the city aside from this one?
No temples or shrines.
Are there any other priests here?
Depends on the definition of priest.
Well, I guess, individuals who would work here, caretakers, if you would, of the temple.
I know of a young boy, Zachary, that tends the grounds in the graveyard, but Zach, no.
I think that might be him.
So, an individual of the age of 12.
Oh, he was double the age.
Man, I have no clue. What is their profession?
He was a priest, a Volphine. I met him several months ago. When I was on my way to Oasis, he led me there and journeyed with me.
Did he give you the word priest or cleric?
Priest? I know of clerics, and he certainly was not one.
The only other place that would house clergymen of sorts would be the White King Citadel. Stronghold, whichever it is, it's referred to. It's on the southern part of Whitewater. It hosts a slew of clerics, paladin, and other members of the cloth. Though not specifically just Volpine.
You be able to give me exact directions?
If you go to the Bridge of the White Road, keep the wall to your left and follow it down until you meet another gate. Cross another bridge into another facility. It's a smaller island on the southern side of Whitewater.
You. I'm sorry to disturb you.
Not a problem at all. I hope you find who it is you're looking for.
Me too. I'm gonna turn around and walk towards Stolen.
Did you find your friend?
He's not here. The only other place that the priest believes he may be is at the Citadel of the White King. Could you lead me there?
Yeah, I know where that's at. Actually, that's near that guild. Yeah, I'll take you there.
Thank you, Stolen.
And he will escort Loria to the bridge leading to the Citadel of the White King, and then he will... I kind of want to go inside and check the guild real quick to see how it's doing. If you just cross this bridge, it should take you right to that Citadel. And if you need me, I'll just be in this building right here.
Before we split, have you ever encountered any trouble here near the Citadel?
I'd probably have to do like a history check on that.
Sure. Go ahead.
Gotcha. There we go.
No, you don't recall trouble about the Citadel?
I don't think I've ever encountered anything there myself, so I think you should be all good.
Okay. If I do run into anything, I will probably end up using the whistle. So, if you hear it, well, thanks for getting me this far. I'll see you later. Will you wait for me here until I return?
Yeah, once I'm done with whatever I'm doing, I'll wait right back here for you.
All right, thank you. I'm going to make my way across the bridge.
Stone will tip his hat and make his way into the guild.
All right. We'll go for the guild because it's right there.
All right.
As you enter into it's the Armstar Adventuring Guild. It's exactly as you remember. The wooden interior mixed with the large job board that at this point is mostly minute kinds of jobs, out foraging, traveling with merchants, things like that. As sitting behind the counter sleeping is the large Goliath that you will remember having worked with ever so slightly, Ral.
Wow.
It's the best way that you were able to remember his name, as he does hail from the north, and his name is extremely long. And people just refer to him as Ral. And he works the counter, though it's mostly an excuse to have some form of job. And you would use that as an air quotes. He mostly sleeps there, signs paperwork, and dishes out money for quests. Other than that, there's nothing else that he really does.
Yeah.
You suspect that the guildmaster probably hired him to look imposing upon trying to rip off the guild. He doesn't really do anything. The entry area itself is pretty much empty. A lot of the chairs are put up onto the tables. There's the kitchen doors closed, and the hall is left to Rawl, and the one elf that everybody just kind of placed him in the back of their mind as a kind of fixture into the room. He sits there quietly, never takes a job, and just stares at people. As you enter in, he as well stares at you. You've try to get his name many times, and he's never responded to you. But he does acknowledge that your presence and what you're doing. Just, you get nothing.
Yeah.
So they just like, he's furniture.
Yeah. He came with the place.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Walking up to the board, Stolen is mainly looking for something just minor he can help out with. Being in his home city, he wants to, with whatever time he has, he wants to be able to contribute something, to his community. So he's basically just looking for a really minute job or something that might be able to be fixed within a day or two or in the city.
There are 3 for lost pets. There is 1 for a very aggressive bird. 4 of them that are just temporary job employments, like working at a bakery or extra hand at the tavern. The other ones seem to take you out of Whitewater itself.
I see. Well, one with the aggressive bird sounds interesting.
Okay.
I'll take that one, and I will take one of the flyers for a baking job.
Alright.
I'll take those 2, just look them over, roll them up, put in my bag, and then Stone will walk over to Raoul. Is Raoul sleeping?
Yeah, he's fucking out.
All right.
You can, as you begin to approach, you can smell all the booze that he hides underneath the counter. You can smell it. He's been drinking.
Stone will smack his hand down on the board. How you doing, Raoul?
I wasn't sleeping.
It doesn't look like you were. How's things been? Haven't seen you in a while.
He kind of leans forward, wiping the sleep from his eye, and squints. Blinks a couple times, wipes away some more. Hey! I don't remember your name.
It was Stolen.
The gill makes the guild.
Absolutely.
I remember that joke.
Yeah, I did too. Well,
Things are going good. How are you?
I've been well. Been traveling. I'm in a great mood right now. I just got back home, enjoying the city. Would you like something? And Stone's gonna dig a bottle of dragon piss out.
I don't drink on the job. As he has
neither
his
do
hand
I.
outstretched with the hand it over action.
Yeah. Stolen hand it over.
Pull off the
I can
cork and
s-
just begin to chug it.
I can smell bullshit.
It's no bullshit from there.
Be careful there, friend. Make sure you can hold it before you drink it.
As he slams it down and just looks at you. There's just this acid bile just slowly comes out of his mouth. He rolled an at one.
Oh, of course
my
he did.
God.
Of course he did.
That's awesome, dude.
As it just drips onto the floor, as you hear this tss, tss, the sizzle of the wood being burned away by the acid.
Gotta be careful with this thing.
He'll pull his head back, and then you hear this as he just swallows what was left in his mouth.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh man.
Good stuff. So he slides it back across the counter towards you.
It's called dragon piss, and then Stone will take a chug.
You'll see that moment of questioning everything, and then everything else that he's been drinking, and then that also hits at the same time as the face goes from that slight worry to just not caring anymore.
Yeah. It's made by a dragon, but in all honesty, it's not piss. It's basically grog is a good guess, is a good name to give it. Well, anyway, it was great to see you, Raul.
It was good to see you too, Stolen.
So I'll tip his hat, put the bottle away.
He'll go to tip a hat that's never existed. And then you'll just look at his hand.
Alright. And Stone will make his way out and go wait back by the bridge, looking over the aggressive bird.
Yeah. All right.
Nolan's interactions are the best. I love it so much.
Rawl's literally that guy you put on night duty just because nobody's gonna rob a guy that's like 7 foot tall.
Yeah. Did you say that he was?
I'd like to see
He's
them
a-
try.
He's a Goliath.
He is a Goliath.
Goliaths range from like 7 to 9 feet in height.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they are a huge race.
In terms of a Goliath, he's a midget.
Yeah, he's a midget. He's probably a runt of a family, which is it still means he's a big guy compared to everybody else, but
Yeah.
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 Nice
guy.
All right, as you finish walking this bridge's length, it's this almost oppressive force begins to bear down on you. As you get closer and closer to this gate, you can see a symbol branded across it as this gauntlet fist. Down the center of it is the carving of what seems to be a sword. On the thumb of this gauntlet, you can see the icon of what seems to be an eye. As you get within roughly 40 feet of the gate, it will begin to open.
I just want to ask real quick. Do I recognize this icon? Like, have I seen it anywhere before? Is this the first
Roll me a
time?
history check. You can either choose history or religion.
Let's do. What is it? What is my history? Not good. We're gonna do religion. 16.
You've seen the symbol before. This symbol is not widely known, but within the central areas of the Western Kingdoms, it is well known. This symbol is for the Paladins of the White King, previously known as the Paladins of the Silver Gauntlet. These paladins are a group of clerics, clergymen, and paladins that go out and cure ailments, fight off diseases and plagues. They hunt down witches. There are some of them that have burned down entire villages of cults. They are a mixture of extremists, military, and emergency aid. An individual like yourself as a druid would see them as this oppressive force of gods. They don't follow a particular god. They have members that follow every god. These are ones that seek active duty or to actively put works of their god into the world. You would know that they offer themselves as guards to towns, cities. They essentially are the modern equivalent of a private military company. Though they do work for kingdoms in some regard, they take on jobs like adventurers, where they hunt out curses and evil dark entities. And they are relentless in that passion.
So I would say, so it would be safe to assume that individuals from this organization probably went and fought against the Turn Terrors.
They were part of Whitewater's defense in the past. After King Whitewater died, and after that, they ended up changing their name from the Paladins of the Silver Gauntlet to the Paladins of the White King.
Okay. But they never actively went and fought.
Oh, they did. They were some of the deciding factors within the streets of Whitewater. Most of their forces were spread out. They weren't massively militaristic.
Okay, so they stayed within the city and never actually went and marched up into Turn Terror territory.
Yeah, they put down people that were turned. They ended up having to consecrate ground, things like that.
Okay. All right, then I will continue walking through the open door. And what do I see once I enter the grounds?
As you enter into the grounds, you can see a mess of, at first, seem to be bodies, but are just people covered in armor head to toe, beaten and bruised. As you see a few more standing in what seems to be this small arena, battling it out in this large courtyard. You could see striking dummies, posts, training equipment, obstacle courses, and the such. Essentially, what accumulates to be a boot camp. The soft groans from these soldiers show that they're alive. They just wish they weren't. As you can see one individual that is roughly 5'2", wide shoulders, this massive amount of armor around them, standing on a ledge of this somewhat rounded area where this training course is, staring down at them, and occasionally will take a rock and throw it as it strikes the ground. The two that are still left standing will begin to strike at each other until they can't strike anymore, and will pause, and until another rock hits the ground.
So these grounds are just like for training purposes, it seems.
You will see all along the back wall, large towers, buildings that look reminiscent of that of either castles or forts for large militaries. You can even see what seems to be some version of a wizard's tower as it spires up towards one end. And at the very top has this pulsating light. As you enter in, you will hear the doors close behind you, and then a series of heavy plated footsteps flanking your sides, coming closer towards you.
I will look to either side of me.
What up here?
I will say that I've been using my staff as like a walking stick, so I have it in my hands.
Okay. As you look to your left and right, the individuals that you see are covered in the front seems to be somewhat silvered like armor, but in the back is iron. Showing that the upper layer is silver, but it's a sturdier armor. Long blue talbards and sashes, and even a cape itself rests upon their shoulders as they begin to approach. The chests and shields that they bear have that same gauntleted icon. They don't have weapons drawn, but they are moving towards you with a somewhat intense pace. On their sides, they have a series of what seem to be a long sword, a short sword, and a mallet.
Okay.
What's your business here?
Seeking a friend of mine. I was hoping I might find him here. A young priest, human, by the name of Zach. I already checked the Temple of Olfine in the city, but he wasn't there. The priest didn't know his name, at least, so I was hoping I might find him here. I was referred here in any case.
Priest Zach. Who might you be?
My name is Aloria. He traveled with me to Oasis several months back. He caught a ship back home about a few days after we made landfall.
The individual that was speaking to you will look up towards the other one, gestures head towards the large keep, as the other one will begin to head that way. Unfortunately, you must wait here.
All right. I will ask, since we have to wait. Is there a rule or anything against entering the premises further beyond this gate, at least?
No. It's just late in the evening.
I see. So
It's just a bit suspicious.
I understand. Me and my group arrived here not too long ago, and I just wanted to check in. We had a rough time in Oasis, so I wanted to make sure that he was all right.
When he returned here, he did seem slightly bruised up.
He was unfortunately abducted by one of the bosses for an asinine reason, and they roughed him up.
Oasis is a place of squalor. So, He knew the risks, more than likely.
Now that I've seen the place firsthand, I don't think I'd have a problem walking alongside some of your number to purge it of its blight.
We don't just purge people. That is not our duty.
You hunt monsters, correct?
We hunt creatures of darker domain. The monster slaying is left up to the Royal Army.
So things like vampires, werewolves, undead, that's your domain?
Somewhat, if it ventures beyond, or into city grounds, and things of the such. Towns, cities, capitals. Though if they wander the forests, or the field lands, or even the mountains, it's normally left up to others for those types of things. We protect the people.
See.
Most of our men are trained in many things.
Do any of your number tell stories of the War of Whitewater and what exactly happened within city limits?
There are a few members still here today that hail from that war, though many of them are new. Men and women that sought to prepare themselves for combat that fortunately never came. The armies of Whitewater, along with its allies, pushed the enemy back and defeated them. Our headmaster is one of the few members that's from those battles. There's Paladin, I think it's Paladin Master Vanguard Sagrado is also one. But out of everyone else, I think those are the only two.
Have you heard any of their retellings of that fight?
They speak mostly of the rebuilding of the city during those 2 years, not the fight itself.
Was it that bad?
When you entered, what direction did you approach Whitewater?
The bridge just to the west of here. Or, excuse me, east. Sorry, long day.
You approached from the east, you saw the first area that had the arena, the Coliseum, correct?
Yes.
It used to be filled with homes of people.
And now it's that.
Was the first part of Whitewater to catch a blaze. It fell, honestly, from what I've heard and read, quickly. The most northern delta stayed intact, though it also was breached eventually. The southern one, the one in which you entered here from, it's not once touched.
I saw a set of footprints that were clearly defined throughout the other marks on the bridge. What were those?
They came from a man. Still lives. I guess depending on your definition of life. But, he His name is Betrick Sapphire. He is the personal guard to our our kingdom's lordship, Lady Whitewater.
And he stood alone on that bridge.
If anyone else were to be near him, it would not be safe.
You said what would constitute for life. What did you mean by that? What was he?
It's
Some kind of undead?
No, he's a form of living armor.
Oh.
Like some sort of automaton.
I know of what you speak. I've met some in the deserts of the Badlands.
Strange. Patrick was a gift to Whitewater from the Lagillon. They are most commonly referred to as the creators of the Warforged. Makes me question on what those large folk would desire in the desert.
If it makes any difference, they seemed keen on investigating the Black King's citadel out there. They even entered. They seemed to know a lot about it. I, too, have an interest in the structure, though for probably different reasons from them, I was unable to enter with them. I unfortunately had other matters to attend to, and they seemed more equipped than I to explore the place. Does that give you any ideas about what they might be as far as their purpose?
So you've seen the citadel?
It wasn't for long. The Warforged, they seemed to have a very, how to put it? They seem to have a good algorithm to determine how exactly when the citadel would appear. If you've heard the legends, then you know that it appears and disappears. People claim to see it, and then it's gone one moment.
Make for me a perception check.
Okay. Perception. 8.
Alright, that's fine.
Well, it's true. It appears and disappears. Me and my group, we were there with those two Warforged. After they entered, it disappeared. We were forced to flee because of a giant sandworm was approaching. It forced us to look away, and when we looked back, it was gone. On the interior of it, rather, there was a dome around it. It seemed to keep the structure locked in time. And within that dome, there was, well, a few individuals that looked like they were entering the citadel. And there was plant life and a dryad moving freely within it. I still don't have any idea about how it works. But I've been trying. There's not a whole lot of research on time magic that I've been able to get my hands on. And of course, no real lore history of the Citadel itself.
you'll at this point begin to see a few individuals approaching. One of them, in counter to the other knights that you've seen, one of them is wearing this darker armor, though, with all the same blue sashes, cape. The individual's not wearing a helmet, as you can see the bottom of their chin, and as it's wrapped heavily in this cloak and hood. One individual that bears no weapon on their person but a book, no helm, approaches you. This beard that seems to be tapered in and held close towards the chin, the lower part of the neck, and comes up to the other side, and a familiar face, Zach. Though they are covered in full plate and a weapon on their back.
You look different.
Well, I've cleaned up a bit.
You're training to be a paladin, or were you always?
We're taught to give back to the debts we have to repay. So I have been.
How do you mean?
Well, I was starting my training when we first met. And you helped me. So, as part of it, my instructor, as he'll look to the individual with the tapered beard, informed me that I needed to repay my debts.
You had already gotten me to Oasis. I thought that was enough.
You desired a goal while you were there.
I did. Still do.
The knight, the soldier accompanying you, will walk over to the individual that's face is revealed, and whisper something towards him. He'll put his the individual he spoke to will put his hand on his shoulder. Go. Thank you, Lieutenant. Head back to your post. They'll nod and head back towards the gatehouse.
Continue speaking. An acquaintance of mine told me that he had gotten you on a ship back home. When we arrived here, I wanted to make sure that he was telling the truth. He was a shifty type.
Yes, 'tis. He'll pause. He was able to get me onto a vessel.
Look, if you think that you still owe me something, you don't. You did what I had asked, so I don't see any reason for you to rejoin me.
Recall adding on parameters to your goals. Upon extreme injury to myself, I would leave. So I ended up departing. My instructor feels deeds are to be repaid in kind, though life should be cherished. I was not suited to guide you further, and the fact that you survived informed me you found others more suited for that task. So, I hold no desire to burden you with my presence further.
You were never a burden, Zach.
Well,
I
First Night in Oasis would like to differ.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I and the group that I ended up allying with at the time, we didn't fare much better in the following days. Well, let's just say we ended up getting removed forcibly from the city. We're lucky to be alive.
That does make sense in that regard, as the individual with the beard would reply. Please, you may come in if you desire. We can have something to drink. It is a bit early in the morning.
If you insist. But I will ask one thing before I enter. Your lieutenant, you called him?
Mm-hmm.
He seemed surprised that there were, well, from what I had told him about the Black Citadel and there being other Warforged. I assume that's what he disclosed to you a moment ago?
You would not be incorrect.
You wouldn't happen to be inviting me in to pick my brain about it?
Well, it does take a mind sharp enough to find a place like that, so... I wish to hear it for myself.
Favor. Would you send someone across the bridge to another friend of mine? He should be waiting for me at the guild. If you would tell him where I am and for him to rejoin the rest of our group, that would be appreciated. Don't want him there for nothing. His name is Stolen. He's a sea elf.
He'll look over to the other individual. They'll nod as they begin to move towards the gate. If you would, please.
Or we'll begin walking. So, what exact questions are you wanting to ask me? I'm afraid I might not have all the answers.
I wish only to know what it is that you do. I don't honestly expect things that you may not have seen. She informed me you encountered the place known as the Black Citadel. And ye had yet to venture inside.
That's correct. The reason for that being there is a arcane dome around the entire citadel, powered by what seemed to be crystals, one on the very top spire, and two in front of the gates. Within this dome, it seemed that time had been stopped. There were several figures who looked to be approaching the front gate, and there was a dryad moving freely within this dome. And also, there is life, verdant greenery, all within the dome. There were 2 Warforged that we found within the desert. They led me and my troop to it. They seemingly had a way to figure out how to approach the Citadel when it actually appeared, though they never disclosed that information to me. When we got to the Citadel, they seemed to do something to the crystals in front of the gate that caused the dome to shrink slightly. And the life... my brother's knocking on my door. Give me 1 second.
All right.
Okay, let me continue. They did something to the crystals that caused the dome to shrink. And when it shrunk, the life that was still in the ground remained. When they tried to extract a frozen rodent within the bubble, it disappeared. Like all the years caught up with it and it disintegrated. So nothing can be removed forcibly without it, well, being destroyed. But if these crystals are either deactivated or destroyed themselves, then it seems that what remains on the inside can be extracted without damage. That's my working theory in any case. The Warforged ended up being able to enter the bubble by using small crystal shards. I expect they are of a similar kin to what was on the inside. They seem to be able to manipulate the dome, to move through it. When they entered the Citadel, that's when we were forced to flee by a rapidly approaching sandworm. When we turned back around after fleeing, the Citadel was gone.
About at this point, you would end up passing by the larger fort-like building. And as you pass by the front gate, you begin to feel this almost nauseous feeling. You don't smell, taste, see, or hear anything out of the abnormal. But as soon as you pass, this field almost of negative energy surrounds you. You'll notice that the others slightly have a wane step as well as they pass through the area.
She's going to stop and kind of hold her hand to her head.
Please don't linger there.
Laura's going to take a few more steps in.
As you step out of this area, everything comes back to you. You feel better. It's as if just this wave of nausea hit you and left.
What was that?
Depending on what we are able to gather from you, and possibly your companions, you may be at liberty to know.
I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that the closer to a divinity an individual is, the less it affects you. Am I right?
Sorry, repeat that?
I'm going to assume that it's whatever that was, its effects are stronger on individuals who are not as close to some form of divinity.
It affects everyone. It's also used to temper soldiers. So,
See. Anyways, where was I? Right. Citadel had disappeared, and there was no trace of it. Like it was never there. Though one of my companions, she used a spell that allowed her to see between the planes. And she saw something very strange. It was like when she looked into the sky, there were these tendrils around the citadel. They shifted and seemed to either duplicate or converge in on themselves. She could never count how many there were. It was a strange phenomena. We still don't know exactly what those tendrils were. At first, we believed, since the Dryad's presence there was, well, unaffected by the dome, we thought perhaps the Black Citadel is moving between dimensional planes. But honestly, I'm not certain.
at this point, you'll get to the base of the large tower. The individual that's been accompanying you and Zach pull out a key and unlock the door. And as you three enter in, you'll notice that it's a very magnificent library. The building itself at the bottom has rows of books, a spiraling staircase to the next floor, which is this wired grate, as you can see all the way up to the top.
Lauren's eyes are going to immediately widen and lighten up.
Every book in this tower has an iron spine bolted into the book and chained to the wall. At the bottom in which you enter, there are three chairs, a couch, a couple of tables. A lamp sits on one of the tables as a teapot that has steam still coming from it rests amongst 5 cups. Sit.
Take a seat.
Zach will also take a seat as well, as the other individual sit down. Let me first introduce myself. I am Archivist Travis Abraham.
I am Eloria of the Wildfire Druids.
As you may have guessed and assumed at this point, we work around strange things and oddities. Capturing and destroying demons, spirits, the like. It wasn't hard for you to determine the information you have about the Citadel also falls under that preview.
I didn't realize it was something that concerned you so. As far as I can tell,
Oh.
you usually keep yourselves confined to the city limits.
When the history of a place is tied directly into the summoning of monsters, demons, and other creatures from different planes, it becomes a time bomb. For what if those magics still rest there waiting for another to get their hands on? But as you're telling me, others have now entered that place already. And the place
Yes.
is preserved. Which means
Yes.
it may be as it was many a year ago. When
I believe
orcs
as
and
well.
other creatures were summoned to this world by a singular person. Demons given form on the material plane, and infernal blood entered into bloodlines of anyone just randomly. You can now begin to get the picture of the dangers of just knowing its location is.
Yes. Though I was not quite aware of its entire gravity as a threat, I displayed interest in it because I believe it could be connected to the reason the Badlands is the way it is.
What do you know about Arcana magics?
Not much, I'm afraid. Most of what I know of magic I learned from my circle. And the stories that they told me of the Black King and the Citadel, well, it led me to believe that it could be tied to the reason the Badlands are a wasteland now. That before, it used to be not unlike the West.
As the many books tend to reference kingdoms to the south, no proof, truthfully, have ever been discovered except from ruins in the sands of a civilization of Anubai. But they themselves refuse outsiders.
I have seen such ruins. And my group and I, we stumbled across the recent destruction, as in mere hours after the fact, of a settlement of Anubai. It was a massacre. They were a vagabond clan of sorts. They raided the entire settlement, slaughtered everything. Even the child princess that seemed to be there. The last one alive, barely, he gave a mission to one of our number to exact revenge on the one who slaughtered them, which we did. I assume if you're interested in the Black Citadel, you know of a material known as star metal.
Please tell me you have not come into contact with such things.
This Anubai wore a chest plate of such material. When he bid my companion to seek revenge, the power of that chest plate transferred to him. Once the request was fulfilled, the power dissipated. It left his chest piece as it was before he ever encountered the Anubai.
And I am to assume your friend or companion slew a man.
The one who slaughtered the Anubai. He no longer holds that piece of armor. You seem troubled.
I will ask you not to leave Whitewater. Then, till I'm able to speak with your group. You are free to roam the city. I cannot keep you in Whitewater, but for your safety, I recommend it.
Why? What are you afraid of?
I wish to inform your group, as it seems what I may have to discuss with you involves more than just one of you. So, when you're able, please return here.
You're saving any further questions until I return with my companions.
You may ask your questions then.
Well, as long as I'm here, and the lawyer will start looking around the library. Would you be willing to let me look at anything you have on the Citadel?
Cannot permit that.
Very sensitive information, I imagine.
These books contain information about things that if you were to undoubtedly place your hands upon, it would more than likely destroy who you are.
Mentally or physically, or both.
He will hold up his hands. As you see, they are heavily they have heavy gauntlets on them. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of small symbols, runes, and incantations wrapped around it. The books will consume whatever they can.
I see. I may have encountered a similar tome. One that does what you're describing these ones do. When I was in Oasis, my group and I, we were investigating a lead we had gotten. We had come upon a tome that, when I touched it, it instantly decayed a portion of my hand. Fortunately, one of my allies healed it, but no external tool, no blade, no wooden plank could move the book from the tabletop.
The book was more than
And-
likely cursed and enchanted. As are most of these books.
It was a tome with imagery of hands wrapped in chains on the cover of it. Does that mean anything to you?
Not off the top of my head. I will tell you, however, be very wary of any iconography of chains.
Probably don't have to ask why. Unless there's something aside from the obvious.
Just be sure if you see any, you contact a cleric, clergyman, or a paladin nearby.
Well, I doubt that book is going to be going anywhere. Or if it has, then I have no idea where it went.
Those books have enchantments to where certain phrases or certain individuals are able to lift and move them. Prevents theft. Many nobility use it to guard treasured items and the such. It's just an incantation of immovable objects. The part that it sucked away life force and rotted away a section of your hand, that was the curse.
I see. So they were different.
Things can be enchanted with a powerful enough spellcaster or a powerful enough engineer of arcane artifacts. In recent days, a new method of enchanting has become more popular due to steady disappearances of high-level spellcasters.
Any off the top of your head that you can name? Of the ones that disappeared.
There was the last Archmage of the Wizards College in Silesia went missing. That would be the most recent one, as of about 6 years ago. So,
Does anyone know where he was headed?
he was a recluse. He went nowhere. He vanished from his office at the college.
I see.
Ever since then, the college stopped training wizards at a certain point. And recommended that they not continue studies beyond.
Oh, they what? Got spooked? Didn't want to train anymore?
If you go with the rumors, it's commonly blamed on the Black King. So,
A lot of things seem to be tied to that citadel.
well, most things are more along the lines of blame the Black King for things that couldn't possibly be. Like for the rot of trees in the forest or whatnot. It's more along the lines of an excuse for bad things. I don't know if there's true merit behind the Black King being blamed for banishing wizards. But high-level spellcasters do go missing.
And their curiosity gets the better of them.
It's not just wizards. Entire covens of druids have disappeared as well. It's not just arcanes. So be careful. Any of your friends that are spellcasters that you may venture with are at risk.
So there just seems to be a large, widespread phenomena of disappearing spellcasters?
That's why there's some people that full-heartedly believe it's the Black King. Or some people think that the god of magic just so deemed it not worthy for people to be of a certain power. Who knows? Clerics of the god of magic are individuals that deny that theory. So,
Well, you have given me quite a bit to think about. I hope I've done the same for you. But I should probably get back to the rest of my group.
Well.
I'm gonna stand up and turn to Zach. I'm glad you're okay. And good luck. And Laura will give a small smile.
good luck to you. I hope you are able to accomplish your dream.
I hope so too. And Laura will turn back to the archivist, give a small nod, and begin to exit.
As you go out, the archivist will go, remember, come visit with everyone else if you can.
I'll see if I can convince them.
Thank you.
And Laura will turn back around and continue leaving.
Stolen.
Hello.
As you stand there at the end of the bridge, you will watch one individual approach you. Their face covered in a heavy hood and wraps. Their armor dark. You've lived in Whitewater before. The cloth that hangs from them has the symbol of the Paladins.
Mhm.
They double as guardsmen sometimes, but individuals that dress uniquely from the common wear are, from your personal experience, are very much either eccentrics or extremists. Essentially, the best way I can compare it to is the meme where the cleric's like pretending the paladin is nothing related towards them.
Yeah. I gotcha.
The individual approaches you, and they just kind of stand there for a second, staring at you.
I'll put the paper away and I'll face him. Something going on with my friend? Looking more closely at him, am I able to sort of tell like why they're sort of just standing there staring?
Make an insight check.
Gotcha.
Nice.
There we go.
As you're staring at him, begin to get this feeling of you should probably come back later, or your friend will catch up to you.
I get that feeling from the paladin.
But the voice isn't an internal voice of yours. It has a different sound. It sounds as like somebody else is giving you that feeling.
Hell?
All right. Stolen will walk back to the Adventurers Guild.
Okay.
He'll just give like a nod and just head back to the Adventurers Guild. He's just gonna go inside and just look over the bounty a little bit more. Maybe have another drink with Raoul.
As you go back and the other individual turns away, something begins to hit you. You didn't hear his footsteps. And he's in full plate. As you turn around and look, the individual's already halfway across the bridge. Walking.
Am I able to tell how, just like normal walking speed?
Yeah, just normal.
I'll turn back around, heading back inside, and then I'll quickly turn back around and look.
He's in the same relative place. It doesn't seem like he was running or anything, but he was further away from you in that quick turn than he was when you were standing there.
What the hell?
I'll walk back to the spot I was waiting at, and I'm just gonna kind of post up, just kind of staring towards the other edge of the bridge. I'm just gonna wait here. Sort of keep an eye out for anyone coming and going, see if someone like walks by, I'm gonna do the thing where I like look away, look back at them to see if they're...
Nobody walks across the bridge.
All right.
You will watch him enter into the gate, and the gate close behind him. Eventually, you will see Ilaria exit the gate.
Well,
And she walks the full distance of the bridge. Not like she gets teleported halfway.
all right.
Yeah.
As she approaches, Colin's just gonna keep sort of looking towards the other side.
Sorry, that took a little longer than I was expecting it to. It appears that some information I was talking with one of their people about garnered the interest of their archivist. So he had some questions for me. And I'm gonna do a perception check to see if I notice Stolen, like looking at the bridge.
Sure.
Like,
He's just
not even
like
paying
he's just
attention.
like arms crossed, leaning against a wall.
Let me make that check. 16.
He did look at you intensely as you were approaching, but after a while he just kind of gave up.
Is something wrong, Stolen?
Yeah, there was a paladin approached me earlier, and when I asked them what was going on, they didn't say anything, but I got the feeling of exactly what they were trying to tell me. And then the weirdest thing after that was when I started go to the guild, I was gonna have a drink with my friend. They're already nearly all the way across the bridge again, by the time I looked back. And the weirdest thing too, I swear I didn't hear their footsteps. You saw the armor they're wearing.
Yeah.
Valoria, you also began to remember that when he walked away, you didn't hear the footsteps.
Come to think of it, I didn't hear them either.
Maybe it's just him. For a second I started to think it was the bridge. But it's just a bridge, right?
It seems to be.
The bridge is kind of sus, bruh.
Well, anyway, did you find your friend?
I did. It appears he wasn't a priest after all. He was a paladin in training.
Oh.
So this is where he's been these past few months. I'm glad he's doing better.
Being a paladin's a noble job. I know a good friend who's a paladin.
That place, though, it's oppressive. Like there's an extra unseeable weight that just weighs on you.
Quite interesting, though.
Well, so you remember how we came across the Black Citadel?
I remember waking up after being pulled out of it, I guess. Yeah?
Well, when I was speaking to the archivist, or rather to one of the guards there, when they were getting Zach for me, I relinquished the information that we had been there, and now the archivist wants to see our group to talk about it.
Just to talk about it?
Well, more than just the Citadel. I ended up giving him close to the full story, including the Star Medal, the Anubai, the Warforged.
And they found it all interesting.
Well, it seems that the Black Citadel has been in their sights for a long time, and he informed me, with information I didn't have before, that it was a summoning ground for many, many dark creatures. So, yes, they are interested.
Well, from the sounds of that, I'm glad I didn't go any further in than I did. I guess I didn't really have a say, but...
It makes me wonder what the Warforged are finding in there. If they're even still alive. Anyways, we should... If you're done, we should rejoin the others at the castle.
That sounds like a good plan. Stone will reach into his bag and pull out a a flyer and he's gonna hand it to you, and it's gonna be about like a baker job. I think Felwolf would like that.
What exactly does this job entail?
Need somebody to bake a fuck ton of goods. It does not say specifically, but it says includes but not limited to breads, tacked, biscuits, cakes, and more.
With the food Phil was cooking up earlier, I imagine he'd make something quite amazing with a full kitchen. And he might get paid a little bit too.
I think he would like this a lot. Good eye, Stolen. I'm gonna hand it back to him.
Nice. We'll put it back. Well, I guess we shouldn't dally and hurry and go meet our friends. I have some other errands I need to tend to, but it's best to get the important things first, right?
Say we should rest for what little of the night is left once we get back to the castle.
All right. Well, let's head out. Follow me.
All right.
And we will. I'll escort Aloria and myself back to the to the castle.
All right. We'll now pop over to Arya and Felwolf sitting on the bench now for a little bit in silence.
Okay.
Nice. Exactly how I imagined the scene.
Good chat. Good chat.
Yeah.
Fucking, it's just awkwardly
Sit there
silent.
and just awkward.
So straight up king of the hill. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
They go, yep.
Am I correct to assume that that will just be a silent sit down and until one of you gets up to go to bed? Or do you plan to have communication or not?
Well, it depends if Arya wants to communicate.
I'll just start saying a certain amount of time that has passed. If you feel like that's enough, then say something. 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I guess the real question is if Felwolf is not allowed to have alone time, then I suppose he would repay the favor.
Okay. So we got 15 minutes.
We'll
30
sit
minutes.
there and
About 15 minutes.
yeah,
Okay.
give it a little bit.
Okay. A total of 30 minutes.
I hate this.
Okay.
I like how we have an actual fast forward button. It's like
When you're in that cut scene where it's just like 5 different shots of different people standing there silently, and you're like,
Yeah.
it reminds me of just like twisting the knob on a VCR.
It's on the cassette.
No, at about 15 minutes, she'll
okay.
just say, I really don't like this.
What's that?
Everything about this. Something is wrong.
Well, I've been saying that for a while.
Skip ahead 30 minutes, go back 15. We missed it. Shit!
Come on!
No, that's where it stops for another 15 minutes. This is literally just a staggered conversation.
You're gonna give the viewers whiplash.
Meanwhile, about 15 and a half minutes ago,
Damn straight.
there's time cutting everywhere.
So what of the 50 things that we have to worry about are you worried about?
That is a good question. Too many of them.
Okay, well, at least I'm not alone in that boat.
We need more information.
Well, yes,
We need
but we also a small
True.
team.
information.
I don't believe there's such thing as true information.
Maybe. Arch,
Yes.
what do I know about mind flayers?
Oh, what do you know?
Yeah, that is the question. What did have I ever learned anything about them? Do I know anything about them?
Either an Arcana or a History check.
Watch this drive.
Is
9.
And
No.
I'm gonna go ahead.
nothing.
You do know that they are creatures that are referred to as, in this world they're referred to as othered, or others. The clergy, does not include them amongst the peoples or denizens of this realm. Most people believe mind flayers to be evil.
Aliens.
You wouldn't be wrong. Technically, the way that religion would view them is they're not from another planet. They're from another form of existence.
Aliens.
A form of existence that the gods did not create. So yes. Aliens would be a simpler term to view them as. Mind flayers are known to be highly intelligent. They're known to view living creatures as cattle. Beyond that, I can't give you any more because that's extreme common knowledge.
Okay.
And you got slightly below that, so that.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I suppose the next step would be to talk to Lady Whitewater. I need to find a way to get my memories back. Not the half truths that I have already. I need to remember everything.
I would doubt that anyone within the confines, and I have stated this before, within the confines of the Whitewater faction at the time would have erased your memories or had the ability to do so.
She shakes her head. I don't think so either. But something else is wrong. I have memories of when I was in the Crimson Keep. But from what I can remember, I was never there. I never remember stepping into those halls, yet I remember being there.
That's simply a process of cross-examination.
I remember growing up in the woods, being away from the family, yet what Lith said, my mother was in the castle. I don't remember her ever being there.
I am not versed in the ways of magic, especially those of the former Turn Terrors. Though, if I were to hazard a guess, creatures of the night would be adept at things like illusion and manipulation. If there were someone to be able to alter you in such a way, it would probably would have been done within that faction.
I don't know anymore.
Which means, if we follow that logical train of thought, Your answers will not be found within Whitewater, but within a different region entirely. There will be someone there that would potentially have an answer. Granted, they would still have to be alive and be willing to talk with us.
Well, apparently my family wants me for some reason. And my father's alive, apparently. Which, I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand what is going on.
We are playing with half a deck, yes, but we still have to act on what we know. Our best bet at the moment would to complete the task at hand, though it may be callous to say so. Eliminating one of the 50 problems would be beneficial. Perhaps one of those that we come across along our adventure that way would shed some additional light on your shadow.
Maybe.
Or we can just head straight to the Turn Terror family home, kick the door in and see what happens.
I mean, we can't. That's the other issue.
With the selection of, I'll just say the word powerful individuals, power gives you certain types of benefit. Those who have it either use it wisely or unwisely. Now, if they use it unwisely, they generally don't live very long. However, if we approach somebody who has power and uses it wisely, they would see the logic that would behoove them to act on figuring out riddles like this. Elsewhere, it's say they don't act on it, right? They choose to stay neutral. And this is all on upon the guesswork that there is even such a person. This individual would then allow someone who can destroy them, knowing that there are evil people out there, to exist. Now, why would somebody of wise and powerful stature allow that to happen? When there's turn terrors that will be willing to subdue them or steal their power, it is negligible at best. Once again, I can keep going down this train of what ifs and what have yous, but in the end, it's all pointless. We must act, and what we know is not enough, so we continue with the project at hand. That we can manipulate. As, for an example, Aurora. I would love to turn the desert to a lush green land. It's not fucking happening anytime soon. We don't have the means, we don't have the knowledge, we don't have all the information. We don't know what's stopping it. We don't know if it was. I'm not one to sit here and dally on possibilities. If you sit here and dally on it, you only drive yourself mad. Slowly consume your thought process, eating away at your energy, leaving you with nothing to do. Too tired to move. Too depressed to act. And eventually, death, one way or another. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't believe you're stupid. I don't believe you're unwise. And I don't believe you're lazy. It wasn't too long ago that you would chastise me every 3 days about something. Suppose it's my turn to chastise you when you're in the pits of despair.
It's only right.
I'm thinking of an exchange of tough love, if you will.
I'm just angry right now.
As am I. But if we channel that anger towards a productive route, it will benefit not just us, but those that we care for. Focus on the task at hand. Use that energy, use that anger in a productive way. It is a lesson that I still attempt to endure.
I suppose it's something that we'll always struggle with, but
You and I more than most people. There are people that care for you. I know that you care for your family, but there are those immediately around you that care. Use that energy to ensure they survive. Do what your clerical duties entail you to do. Prove to those around you you're not simply a mindless vampire out for blood. These are good ways to start. Build those bridges. Do what I am attempting to do for my people. Show them that orcs are not mindless barbarians. There's a code of honor we follow. Though some may not understand it, it's up to me to prove it is valid, just as valid as those from the West. We're approaching these different barriers. It's up to you and I to tear down these barriers and build bridges in their place. I know you're desperate to find and save your family, as am I. My family is in danger this very moment. And it's not a what-if scenario. I know they are. They're in the middle of a war zone. But I have to be here because I know that this will benefit my people. Sometimes the right thing to do is something you do not like.
then I suppose we'll take this one step at a time.
As we've done before, and we will continue to do. And every time one of us hits some sort of a slump, it's up to the rest of them to punch them back into submission. It doesn't mean we can't have a loan. It doesn't mean we cannot mourn. We are still mortals. I'm not too callous to be blind to that. Even warriors have emotion. Your clerical duties give you guidance. If you're ever in doubt, rely on that. If you truly revere your goddess, trust in her wisdom when yours wanes.
Just gonna look up to the sky for a bit. I think you're right on that. And I need it now more than ever.
Right.
She's gonna stand up and go sit on... I'm assuming there's some grass next to the tree?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go sit on the grass and take out her bow, set it on her lap, and start meditating. Thank you.
It's not a problem. We are friends after.
She'll give a smile and nod. Always. I'll get some sleep soon. Just gonna stay here for a little bit.
He'll nod and stand up and walk back inside.
And she's gonna sit there and meditate.
Alrighty then. Second.
Hold the fucking phone. Val, what is that? Dragon scale pizza? Hey,
Yeah,
yo!
see that.
Shit tons of pepperoni.
Oh my god!
Right?
I need some of that in my life. Okay, but I have some pizza right here. Haha.
He was making me hungry earlier with those fucking videos.
Oh, Ken's fuck. That dude does phenomenal videos. I've cooked a few things from his channel.
God damn.
You're gonna meditate. What are you meditating on?
I think here. I'm gonna try and meditate on the past.
What?
Mine
What
specifically.
Okay. What about it?
I'm gonna try and meditate and see if I can focus on the Crimson Cliffs itself, the keep.
Roll me a D100.
Oh boy. Watch this drive. One! Fucking no way!
Congratulations!
Whoa!
That is beautiful.
That is the first time I've ever rolled a 1 on the D100.
That's the first
Hold
and
on,
that one
give me
on
a
a
second.
D100
Wow.
in this campaign.
You're in the same boat as Arco. I can't believe you
Holy
rolled a nat
shit.
1 on it.
Wow.
Literally one
hold
was
on,
terrible,
hold on,
though.
give me a second.
Oh no.
Oh,
That could
boy.
be good or
Oh,
bad.
he's rubbing his hands, preparing something really
Yeah.
freaking special for you. You done fucked up.
Oh,
Royally.
No.
It's over for you, Heister.
Calling Narco, yes.
God damn.
Oh no.
I wasn't even sure Arco was here.
I'm glad my conversation was able to spark such guidance.
Yup.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh,
I'll be sure to do so again.
Hey man, I'm just saying it's impressive, Arco. But admit that was some good rolling there.
This is what's referred to as a master critical fail.
yeah.
Yep.
At least it's not
Absolute
3 nat ones. I'll
odds of
take
this
that.
happening.
Art just
That's just death.
Brain bleed.
Goes to
3
meditate.
critical fails in a row just means you get to be unalive.
Goes to meditate, has a heart attack.
You're never.
You know, the word good in that sentence is kind of a stretch. It was a roll, for sure.
It was definitely a roll. Oh my god. First nat 100 or nat 1 D100 in the campaign goes to Celia. Oh, that's amazing.
You meditate so hard you go into a coma.
Yeah.
That'd be
Okay.
Fucking
All right.
pops a blood vessel.
Oh, here we go.
Yep.
I had to go pee because this is going to be long.
Shit.
Oh boy.
As you sit there, you lay the bow out in front of you, stare up towards the moon as they are now ever present in the sky. They've passed the highest point and are beginning to move to be once more blotted out by the sun. So you look up with the desire to know the truth in your past. I need to make sure of this.
God. Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye,
There you
my
go.
friend.
You will be placed under the effects of greater restoration. As a tidal wave of memories hit you. It starts as you begin to have blurred and scattered visions, memories of a gentle face, soothing voice, though you don't know what it's saying. Comfort fills you. The color of red. And at that point, beautiful. It's warm. Memories flood in one right after another. As flashes of imagery fill your head. You remember younger siblings were playing and carrying them. Remember running and playing in the forest. Though, for some reason, you're giddy, moving away from these dark shadows darting from tree to tree. As if you are attempting to escape them, but that's not your goal. More memories flash by, small bits of joy, stern conversations, and learning. Until a Its face fills you with confusion as pain racks your body. A face, darkened brow, furrowed at you. A crown upon their head, slightly tilted off towards one side. This toothy clenching of teeth. All you remember hearing is crying and screaming. And a face. As you look at it, it's a man's face. Thoughts come to you as, why? What did I do wrong? More memories of pain, the teeth, these eyes of crimson red staring at you. Eventually, you're in a dark room. You can see your mother's there in front of you, holding you by the shoulders. You can hear the sound of combat, screaming. You can smell smoke, blood. The room that you're in is the first area of the escape corridor, the hidden passage that takes you out towards Insel, that runs the length of the kingdom. You're taken through it a few times to teach you for emergencies. Your mother is there. All you can see is her making bright symbols in the air, kissing you on the forehead. And through the screams, start telling you to run. As you turn down the dark corridor and begin to run, it goes black. You get skipping moments of running through a tunnel, starving, hungry. Eventually, you see light. As you exit through it, smoke has filled the air. Begin to run further and further, watching people being attacked as they run. Children, men, women. You see as soldiers clad in blue cloth, chain, tattered and beaten helmets, worn shields, and swords covered in blood fend off knights covered in tassels, ribbons, branding, and dark iron. As a countryside burns, you watch as the darkened figure goes to strike down the blue-covered entity. Soldier with a round shield comes in and stabs him from the rear with a light, small blade. You remember running from there, watching as stray arrows hit peasantry. As you eventually make it deep into the forest. You remember waking then to steps. Of a church. And that's where we'll go to break. We're going to have a 15 to 25 minute break. Allows us to get up, use the restroom, get drinks, and return. If we are back, if all of us are back sooner than that, we will get right back into it. We have another half to go. All right. And we are on intermission, I believe.